Hello, Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia, and this is TransurfingTV, live from my laundry room. I am creating my own reality indeed here. Today, a huge lesson, one that I don't think I've taught before, and it's kind of funny because this is really one of the money shots of the transurfing modality, learning to solve your problems with ease, or really just letting go into them and letting the problem actually dissolve on its own accord. It is an amazing practice once you get into it, very empowering and very energetically efficient, right? It really conserves energy to not be constantly trying to solve your problems from a very, very limited space. Some of the ideas that I'm going to discuss today alongside Reality Transurfing are a few of the ideas from this book, Letting Go by David Hawkins, one of my favorite non-dualistic teachers, non-dualistic thinkers. He's an amazing author. He was a doctor, and God, this is really right in line with Reality Transurfing. So if you want to check this one out, I would definitely suggest doing so. Remember to like this video, comment below, my world is taking care of me, and subscribe to enter my daily giveaway for my reprogramming stickers. So, and Reality 2.0 teachable course down below, y'all. So Einstein said that we cannot solve the problem, the equation, from the same place that it was created. And here is the really cool thing about Reality Transurfing. Reality Transurfing suggests that there are two places to work from. There's the inner intention place. This is your will, your ego, your all the thoughts and efforts on your part as a human. This is your inner intention place. This is doing something via the self, right? And then there is the outer intention space. This is the alternative space. This is an infinite, vast field of data where there are many, many more options and a lot more information than what exists inside of our individual self. So in Einstein's saying, we cannot solve the same problem with the same mindset where it was, we cannot solve the problem with the same mindset where it was created. I really interpret this as your inner intention is creating the problem. The solution to the problem is not found via inner intention. It is going to be found outer intention. So I drew a little diagram here of a person having a question, right? We have lots of questions, we have lots of problems, we have lots of challenges, and opening yourself up to the alternative space via letting go is really the best way to solve this problem quickly, right? To really have a solution hit you like lightning. And this has happened to me quite a number of times, and it is a miracle. It truly, truly is, because you realize, as I realized myself, how I was approaching my problems, and I will get into that, why I'm doing this in a moment, how I was approaching my problems from a place where I was not only going to not find the solution and just continue spinning my wheels, but looking to a place that was just going to exhaust me energetically. This is not being my efficient self. So just as frailing, the act of giving another what it is they're looking for, what is in line with their inner intention for you to get what it is you want, which is, kind of like outer intention. This is energetically efficient, and you reserve and harvest and maintain and grow your power as a human being when you understand the art of frailing. It's the exact same with this. Once you understand the art of letting go of yourself into your, letting go of how you are responding to this problem and really going after the source of it rather than the actual issue itself, and then settling into that, boom, you get hit by a bolt of lightning and the answer comes to you. So problems really only exist in our minds these days. Back in the day, we had real problems, right? Real survival stuff like, shelter, and I'm talking about, in our primitive stages as human beings, we had to really be concerned with just surviving in the moment. So we have taken this with us through our evolution, and even now we have this propensity, this drive, this urge to constantly feel as though there is a problem that needs to be solved. So if you are, for the most part, taken care of, you have shelter, you have food, you have a little bit of money in the bank, your health is okay, your family's okay, you're going to then look externally to find some other problem. And in my opinion, this is when people get involved in politics. This is when people get involved in things like, environmental, like, oh my God, the environment's getting destroyed, right? I'm not saying that it is or it isn't. I'm just saying that this is why we do these sorts of things, is because we are not comfortable as human beings not having problems. So what I like to say is, ask somebody else, do you see my problem? And if they agree with you, then the problem exists. If they don't, or it's up for debate, then it's probably in your head, right? So like a lot of people come to me with issues. Oh my God, Renee, I'm in crisis. Can you help me? And I can usually sense right away this person is in personal crisis. They're not actually experiencing something like their house burning down and their family's trapped inside, or their leg is caught in something and they're, like something real where your life sort of depends on it. Usually people come to me with problems of the mind, perspective, weird perspectives on themselves or others. And in my opinion, 99% of the human problems exist only in the mind. So this is a tricky thing to accept when you've been doing this a lot of overthinking and a lot of, catastrophizing. Oh, he doesn't love me, or oh my God, the political thing, or oh, the COVID thing. If you were to shift your attention away from whatever it is that's causing you a problem, the problem would cease to exist. It wouldn't actually be there. And if a real problem were to arise, let's say floodwaters coming into your house, your family's trapped, that problem would go away very, very quickly because you would be confronted with an actual problem. So first, acknowledging, is your problem a real physical problem that is actually going to cause detriment to you or your reality, or is it simply a problem of the mind? Now, if it's a problem of the mind, if it's a weird perspective or an issue with someone else or an issue with yourself, or you don't like the way that something's playing out in your external reality, whatever it is, that's a really good thing, because then you have control over really diminishing and making that problem cease to exist, or solving it very, very quickly. So I wrote a few steps here. We'll go through them quickly. 1, don't look for the answer. Let go of the sensation behind the problem or challenge. Okay, so here is a really, really valuable thing. A lot of times, the problem isn't actually the problem. It's that it has created a sensation, and that sensation is causing you discomfort, and you look to solve the problem so you can alleviate your own human pain or whatever it is you're feeling. So really stopping and looking at the emotion that you're feeling behind your problem. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling envious. I'm feeling left out, I'm feeling unheard, and then tracing that back to where that originated and working on the emotion itself. So again, don't look for the answer, let go of the sensation behind the problem, behind the challenge. This is dropping importance 101, or lowering your levels of importance. Vadim Zeland says all the time, don't actively strive to find solutions to your problems, lower the level of importance around the problem instead. The quicker the surrender, letting go, the quicker and more powerful the answer is. So I have done this so many times in my life where I had this bad habit for a number of years where I would hide things. I have jewelry and stuff, and sometimes I'll, take my jewelry off and then I'll want to run to the store, and instead of just laying it out somewhere, I'll tuck it away someplace safe where I'll remember where it is. Well, then I don't remember where it is, and in the past I have gone into some horrible fits of crying and searching and tearing my office apart, tearing my bedroom apart, and really getting upset that I've lost this thing. Now, one of the really helpful things that has brought me back to this sort of thinking is thinking of that Einstein quote, right? You can't solve a problem from the same place that it was created. So the first thing I have to do is whatever mindset I was in when I did the thing, I have to call that out. I was being unaware. I was being mindless. Otherwise, I would remember where it was, right? Doing that and then shifting over to another sector of reality where it's not a problem. It's going to turn up. Everything's going to work out fine. You don't even need to try. I have then switched over to the space where the problem can actually be solved, and then voila, I find the peace, right? So this quicker you surrender, the quicker and more powerful the answer. This can hit you like a lightning bolt. This is really about you letting go, accepting the problem for what it is, working on the emotion behind it, and letting outer intention bring you the solution. Ask yourself why. This is a big one. So I have a problem. Well, why is that a problem? Well, because I don't like the way that this feels. Okay, why don't you like the way that feels? Well, it makes me think of this memory. Okay, so why did that affect you, right? Why did that affect you in a negative way? And just going down that, and I've talked about this before, going down that trail of asking yourself why and realizing it could be something very, very insignificant from your childhood that ended up being a seed growing into this big thing that if it gets triggered, you're just a responsive person and you don't have the insight to realize that problem was something maybe small in your past that you didn't adequately deal with. But now, since you have the insight and the power and the energy and the tools, you can deal with it right now. Switch from mind to heart. This is a big one. Mind is inner intention. Heart is connected to outer intention. So if you can switch over to letting your heart just feel that alternative space, right? Let your heart connect with that sector of reality where the answer exists. Your heart is there. Your heart is able to tap into that, not your mind. Your mind never taps into the alternative space. It does in some ways, but really for this sort of thing or anything really productive, it's going to be heart connecting to the alternative space, not the mind. 5, the mind looks in the wrong place. So again, the mind is looking in its own little thing that it's created. The mind doesn't know how to go out into the alternative space and source the solution. It wants to look at past experiences and memories and all the things that you've experienced already, what you know as a person, your programming, what information you have already had access to in your mind. So the mind is going to look in the wrong place, and that is why many decisions made from the mind end up being incorrect, and that's why you look back and wonder why you made that choice, right? So looking back on your past, when you're like, well, why did I do that? That's because the mind was looking in the wrong place and it sourced a solution that it felt was adequate, but it wasn't actually the right one. 6, problem solving using this mechanism of letting go can be lightning quick. I just stated that. I'll reiterate it because it is a lot faster than your mind trying to work out the equation, which is faulty. 7, keep the underlying feelings of the problem clear as you proceed. So if you know that certain emotions or sensations or the essence of something creates a state of being that you're not happy with, and you continuously kind of crystallize that unhappiness in form of problems in your reality, keep drawing awareness to it, right? Keep clearing that sensation, clearing those emotions as you proceed, not letting the same thing happen. So I'm going to read this really quickly. I know I'm going over my time here, big time, but it was a valuable little thing, and I really, really like it. Let's see how the system works with a common everyday example. Let's say that we disagree with our mate on which movie to see. We look to see what the feeling is behind the problem. In this case, let's say that we find the feeling of anger and resentment. Specifically, that we feel resentful about the lack of romantic time spent together. What we really want tonight is affectionate time spent together. As we let it be okay inside of ourselves that what we really want is affectionate togetherness, it suddenly dawns on us that we don't want to go to a movie at all. We just want to be together, or the opposite might happen. We might find that the feeling behind wanting to go to a movie is fear, because we want to avoid spending the evening talking to and being close to our mate. We see that the feelings we have built up are unpleasant. We have resentment, so we let go of wanting to modify that feeling and we just let it be there. It's okay to have the resentment. As we surrender our resistance to the resentful feeling, we feel less guilty. We admit to our mate that we have had resentment. A dialogue starts going and the other person's feelings are cleared up as well. We both feel relieved and closer, and we then say, to heck with the movies. Let's stay home, make love, and go for a walk in the moonlight. So isn't that great? I mean, really, it's about solving the problem from another place that actually treats the source rather than the facade or the superficial problem rather, right? Because you could just keep trying to enter intention these superficial problems without actually getting to the source. But tapping into that source, working with that, finding a solution that is beyond your inner intention thinking mind. This is huge. This is huge. This is huge. So next time you encounter a problem, stop yourself. Remember this lesson. Think to yourself, I'm not going to try to inner intention the solution. I'm going to release. I'm going to let go. I'm going to work on the sensations or the emotions behind my perceived challenge or problem. And I am going to let that lightning bolt hit me, right, with the solution, and also start to work on some of that shadowy stuff underneath to get that resolved as well. It's like a miracle. It is a miracle. So remember, everybody, to like this video and comment below. My world is taking care of me, to enter my daily giveaway. And like this video, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.